We are going to take a quick overview of an Excel spreadsheet. Notice for the File button, we're going to use that information when we want to add some information in, and we can do this only on a regular PC, not on a Mac. And when we need to add something in on a Mac, I will go through the instructions for that. Going back to home, if we want to change the font, we go to this button. If I want to change the size of the cells, I go across and I click on a new size. Let's say we use this 14, so it comes out a little bit bigger. We can bold, we can underline, we can form tables. We can go to insert and we can insert a table if we need to do so. We are inserting most of the time the graphic information. We can graph with a column chart, which is most of what we're going to do at the beginning. We're going to graph with a scatter plot. We can change our column chart once we get there to a pie chart. And we can use any other information. We can also use a line graph. Once we go there, we go to our formulas. The formulas we're going to use is we're going to use the book of statistical formulas, and once we get there, we're going to click on the formula that we would like to access. When you're using a Mac, you're going to go to the formulas also. You're going to go to the FX, which is the function button. You're going to notice an arrow. You're going to click on that, and that will tell you what functions are available for you to use, and it is going to be listed in book formation as well. Not only that, let's say we're going to go to, again, back to home. You're going to notice that when you input information, sometimes it will not come out the way that you want. So you're going to check the general. You're going to make that either a number if you want numerical data, or if you're putting in numerical data because you want to create a particular chart and you want to have a class of data that ranges, let's say, maybe from 0 to 10, and you want that listed as numbers but not counted as a number per se, but a text, you might write that as a text situation. Another thing that you can do is you can insert an extra row or column. You can delete a row or a column. On a PC, you can go to an auto sum button, and that will give you the sum of the column or the row that you want. You can also take numbers and you can sort them from smallest to largest. On a Mac, the auto sum button will appear in the formula bar, and you'll have auto sum in this particular location. Another thing that we can do is we can rename the sheet. So if I double click on that, I can call that my first sheet. And notice that has a different name now, but depending upon what we want to use. So I'm going to show you how to use some of this information. First thing I want to do is I want to take the numbers that I put in over here, and when you're using numbers in an arithmetic method, they always must be left justified. The Excel spreadsheet will automatically left justify for you, so you don't have to worry about changing anything. You can set your variable or any other title information to the middle if you so desire. So I clicked on this particular information and I want to sort it, and I want it to go from smallest to largest. Notice the numbers automatically have been rearranged. Now I want to be able to spend a little time to show you how to create a formula using a fixed cell. Well, the very first thing I want to be able to do before I create that formula is find the sum of the numbers. So I'm going to go to my auto sum button. Notice how this highlighted around all the information that we have. We press equal, and therefore the sum of these numbers is 1,119. Let's say I want to take the average. So in order to take the average, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my formulas. I go to the statistical, and you can do this on a Mac as well. I'm going to the arithmetic average. So I click on that, and I want to be able to put in the first window of the template the numbers whose average I need to find. So I'm going to scroll down over here from 29 to 389. On the template, you have an equal sign in two places. First, you have it at the bottom, and that will give you our sum of the average of the numbers. And again, you have the formula results at the bottom of the template. We click OK, and we have this number over here, 159 and 9/10. If I wish to make that a little bit larger, I can go to this particular button over here where I'm going to increase the number of decimal digits, and now I have 159 and 857 thousandths. So you can always play with that. If this was a numerical data that was really something with dollar sign currency, you can go ahead and you can change it to dollars. You can change all your numbers to percents if you wish to do that as well. Usually that is for decimal numbers. So what we're going to do now is we want to know is if this 1,119 represents, let's say, a total population that we're going to be spending time talking about, and these numbers represent the different categories, the number of people in each particular category from our population, and I want to be able to create a percentage situation. To create a percentage, I have to create a formula, and creating a formula in Excel, we always start with an equal sign. Now, if I want to know what percent, basically what I do is I take the number in each particular category and I divide it by the total sum. Since the total sum is the same, that is the number that's going to be the fixed cell. So let's try one and understand how this works. We click on the number 29. We're going to say divided by 1,119, and since all of these numbers are divided by 1,119, we want that to be a fixed cell. On a PC, we're going to hit on the button F4, and notice how the dollar sign appears before and after the letter B. On a Mac, you're going to go to the Compose button, which is the one right next to the space bar, and the letter T as in Thomas. Now we click on that, and that gives us 26 thousandths. And I want to copy this information, so I block the cell. On the lower right hand corner, you know there's a little box that's almost outside of it. When you put your cursor there, you notice that you have a plus sign there. Left click, scroll down. So we have that information, and I want you to see that that cell B13 is one of the numbers on all of this particular information. Once we have that set, we're going to go ahead and change these numbers. Oh, I made a mistake. A moment. Okay. Go back. We want to change these numbers, let's say, to a percent. So we go to the percent, and I don't want the percent just as whole numbers. I want to see them in decimal notation. So again, I'm going to go to increase the decimal number of digits, and I can go to either 1 or 2 decimal digits. And now we know what percent each particular category is for the entire population. This was just a quick overview of how to use a spreadsheet. We will spend some time with this information on future modules. I hope this was informative.